Hiya YouTube, wherever, whenever you are, I hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you a little bit about me, Shaggy, Philolitea, maybe even Vincent Dennis, the guy behind the Shags. I've been talking with Gemini again today. Yes, I haven't worked directly on The Last Sandcastle, bite me. It's all writing. Because I woke up this morning and I did what I always do. I let Google the news just kind of tell me what was going on in the world, vis-a-vis my interests, of course. And they showed me that there has been recently a new King Arthur story discovered. It was stitched into into a historical ledgers. It was just a document that was just a list of numbers and names, basically. And this 12th century King Arthur myth that nobody had ever read before they found this just was stitched into that book. Someone wanted it to be kept for history unchanged. And this matters to my interests because I couldn't have known this story existed. Now this story, it's largely irrelevant to what I want to talk to you about, but the story is it's an epilogue, it's a sequel to Merlin's story, where Merlin effectively reincarnates as a little boy and continues to give Arthur just diktat. It gives a foundation for Arthur and for kings to have good laws coming from anywhere they can get them. And so if you're engaged on the Patreon and you're reading my Not Rob Longshore material, this matters and this is interesting to you because there's a draft that I started to work on Rob's backstory, his childhood, where he meets King Alfred. And now I stopped working on that because I had this intuition that maybe Rob, as an 8-year-old boy, gives King Alfred the ideas that make him Alfred the Great, because the timelines match up. Rob is 8 years old at the same time that King Alfred is still just King Alfred. 883 is an important year in England's history. And I didn't do it because I couldn't find any historical precedents of there being a boy Merlin associated with Arthur. Well, this year, someone found that story with a 12th century precedent when the Arthur myths were beginning to be canonized in literature. So what I'm telling you is that I am telling you a lot of non-standard things. And the reason I'm telling you a lot of non-standard things is because I've read the standard story. I've listened to the standard story for 20 years, 37 years really, very closely. And I've taken the methods of approaching the standard story and arriving at the standard story very seriously. But those methods in that story have major gaps. They have major gaps that they have to close with faith. And so what I did is I took those gaps and I wondered, well, are there things that we know that nobody's incorporating in the real story, in the primary story that we have? And are there things that fit in those gaps? And there are. And every one of them is women's religion. Neo-paganism is getting women's religion.